on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Nassim the Dream. We are back to continue with the annual Ntd Awards with the next big edition, my top 50 singles of 2024. Now, elaborating on 50 tracks seems daunting, but do not worry, I'm only gonna really be talking about 25 of the singles. I'm really gonna be running through most of them until I get to my top 10, but the other 50 through 26 tracks will be listed in the description if you want to check them out for yourselves, which I highly encourage you to do. All these tracks are so different in genre, sound, style, and sculpture. There's something that I really feel like everyone should really take out. You might find so many tracks you never heard of before in here that you will probably love. So let's get with the top 25. Whom I chose to get my 25 spot has to be one of the best written pop and rock tracks from this man so far. That is coming from Hozier with the track Too Sweet. With 24, I chose to give it to Seven Lions and Millennium's newest track, Not Even Love, featuring ASDIS. With the 23 spot, I chose one of R&B's best right now, Amare's track, Sweet. 22 is going to Porter Robinson with the feel-good track, Knock Yourself Out, XD. 21, a very out there experimental industrial track from Blank Mats, Bloodhound. And then with 20, one of my most successful reaction videos of the year, still one of my favorite tracks to come out from Beyonce, Texas Hold'em. Then we have 19, a very dark and gritty anthem for me that is gonna go to Bad Omens and Poppy with the track Van. 18, the best track that I loved before this record drop and after, that is Magdalena Bay's Image. With 17, one of the best Latin tracks in my diet for this entire year, Becky G's Como Diablos. 16, a track that is just gonna leave you on your ass because you're not even gonna understand what even happened in this routine. That is gonna go to Arm & Hammer's Billy Woods and Elucid's Doves. 15 is a TikTok song that really worked with me, and it's probably my favorite one on this list. Jordan Atunji's Kehlani remix featuring Kehlani herself. 14, a very perfectly structured, designed, elegant, euphoric pop track from FKA Twigs with Perfect Strangers. Just amazing art pop displayed right here. 13, the distortions are something that really had me grinding my teeth and wanting more from St. Vincent, Big Time Nothing. Really good groovy song. I really enjoyed this one as I did the record. With 12, this is gonna be something that has like this ethereal nightclub feel, very euphoric. I'm loving the reverb that's really displayed, that's soaking into the mix on here. It's a subtle one, but it really resonated with me. That is gonna go to Sophia Stell's You Could Hate Me. And 11, we're getting into the drama, as this is most definitely one of the best songs to ever come from any rap beef ever of all time. Kendrick Lamar, Meet the Grams. You see the blood, you see the chaos, you see everything just starting to go crazy, jaws dropping. People just cannot believe what is going on at this point with this song. It was insane. It was a moment in history, in time. It's locked in. It's an amazing song as well, so I have to give it there. We are getting serious now with the top 10, giving it to a back-to-back artist, Kendrick Lamar again. This is my favorite track that he made out of the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. That is Euphoria. One of the best repetitions in hip-hop for a rap beef that I really enjoyed throughout this whole thing. Everything after this really got really personal, and that's why I really think that this was a track that really did it, because it was just so fundamentally strong, firm, and just poetic and deadly at the same time. Insane bars coming at Drake, and then just such a great hip-hop song in general. So many funny, witty moments in here that just had you cracking up and just opening your eyes wide open. And it was really something that I feel like had the best impact for me out of all the tracks. Yes, that is including even Not Like Us, which is like, you know, it was kind of a different thing. It was mostly like the victory lap of singles, and I still really like that track. But this is the one that really still stuck with me out of all of them. I really do enjoy playing it all the time, anywhere I'm at. It's just, it kicks ass. Number 9, a huge surprise to me, as everything that came with this was a big surprise, because this song is from a movie, and the actress in this movie sang this song and performed it in the movie. That is from Miss Sky Riley, aka Naomi Scott's Blood on White Satin. Not only is this my favorite horror movie of the entire year, as it totally had me off guard of what to expect, it gave me so much more. Naomi Scott brings it every single point in here, but she is doing a great job at displaying and portraying this pop star, this huge pop star in this story, this Lady Gaga, as you can really say that she's a mix of so many artists that are going on right now. This much effort in here, this much performance put on there, and she is really singing and she sounds so good to me. This song was addicting. It had such a big impact on my opinion for the movie, especially. So yeah, I really had to give it to this one. I think movie soundtracks are very underrated. They're not talked about enough, especially with this one, because Naomi Scott, she murdered on there. One of my favorite groups out right now. There's literally nobody comparing to them at the moment. The great trio from Flow, Caught Up. So many great singles, so sweet, and the harmonies in here are amazing. They are amazing, amazing, amazing. It stuck with me the most when it comes to some of the who was really trying to bring back that 2000 sound. And this one, it had a little bit more a modified touch compared to some of their other stuff, especially with their EP. But this is just an amazing track that I think so many people could really love. I think so many people should really try out. This group is a group that you just cannot miss out on. You have to check them out. They've been touring a lot lately. If you have the chance to check them out, you have to check them out because they are absolutely spontaneous, marvelous ladies, great dancers, great performers, and this was just their best song the entire year, hands down. 7, another huge pop artist that had an amazing year. I would even argue that this was her year. I had to give it to Charli XCX with her song Guess. The sequences that go off with she's going on with this rave pop scene, the whole dilemma of what she's doing thematically with Brad totally worked its way with the entire world, which was just so amazing to see that so many people resonated so much with this album to the point where they're calling it a Brad summer. Getting into the outro is the one that really just has me just so energetic, and the lines from Billy are on just so good on here. Them and chemistry wise just works so well. There's really nothing much I'm saying. I'm just pretty much yapping at this point. I mean, if you heard the song, you know exactly why it's so good, because it's just so infectious, absolutely adorable. 6 is definitely getting a little bit darker and edgier, and that is going to Knock Loose with the track Suffocate, featuring Poppy, a long duo at this point with their record, especially getting a live performance at Jimmy Fallon Live is insane, and it just shows how great creatively and design-wise this band is, but their ambition into hardcore music. And this track is just the epitome of why they should not be underlooked. Brian Garris as a performer is so underrated, and not too many people can really go with it because they hate the tone of his voice, which, I mean, you know, to each his own. But I really do feel like that the power behind him that he's pushing is marvelous. And then now you have one of the best female performers in metal right now, Poppy, to team up with that and show what she's got and debatably have one of the best performances she's ever had on a track. Marvelous. This song is sick. It's insane. It had me going through every single workout I played it through. This song is just rules. It's awesome. Number 5, I'm gonna have to give that to Laura Marling with the track Child Don't Mind. One of the best singer-songwriter materials that you will listen to on this entire list. So beautiful, so soft and luscious, and has this great elegant atmospheric elements to it. You can feel this ambience just surrounding and encompassing the listener, and it is just so calming, and the serenity behind it is so palpable, and you can't really say that much can really compete with Laura Marling this year, as she had one of the best designs and projects to come out this entire year. And I think this track is just a great lead on to have you check out the entire record, because it is beautiful. It will have you crying for absolutely no reason. There's nothing even. It is just a beautiful song, beautifully performed. Really could not avoid putting it on my top 5. It really did something to me. With 4, I have to give that to SZA with the track Saturn. This track came out so early, so this had a lot of time to really settle with me. I loved it when I first played it, but I played it all year, and it had the entire year basically to really have me adore it and fall in love with it. And I fell in love with it over and over again, especially after finally seeing her live twice in performance, one in Chicago, one in New York. So it was something that I felt like was gonna be on my number one. Unfortunately, some things just came out that I just could not underlook. You know, SZA really put it out with this one. I really do like this like twinkling, dreamy cloud effect that's going on here, like night stars, this soft glistening R&B element to it. It is a beautifully performed track. It's really no shocker as it's coming from SZA, great after a great LP with SOS, and well deserved. Number 3, Rave Central. Also one that I thought was going to be my number one, that is John Summit with the track Shiver. A lot of people could really say it's derivative because Hala is being kind of overused when it was like with Cascade and Deadmau5 with their biggest track with Escape, which was my former number one, I believe in 2021. So this is something that I feel like a lot of people would say, oh, it's like nearly the same thing. I disagree because I feel like John Summit does so well in creating his own path and sound, and he did it so well with Hala with Where You Are. And with this one, I feel like this is the one that really gets you off your feet, wants to jump, you want to just let it all out. It is a bundle of energy. It is beautiful, a burst of stars just going across the galaxy, shooting stars left and right, and it has so much light and color and glossiness to it. It really just a giant ball of fire in the sky, and it is the light in the darkness. It is a beautiful song, and I'm not gonna get sick of this one for a very long time. Number 2 is another movie soundtrack single, one that I just off the first 20 seconds adored. That is Caroline Polachek's with Sunburn and Unkissed. Those powerful electric guitars in there are filling in the dynamic so well, but production wise is where I feel like they took it the most serious. So I feel like if they really went out and about like how they did with the Smile 2 soundtrack production wise, they unfortunately cut those a little bit too short, but I feel like what we got was still good. This one, they went all out. I feel like Caroline treated this as her own, and I feel like they let her treat this as her own, and with their team really went about it as that, like, no, we really want to make something that like is probably what we feel like wants to be our best yet. They put forth that foot to try to create something so well, even though it was just for the movie, but that it was such a strong theme to it. The perfect pop song. It is so amazing. Carolina Polachek, if you are a huge fan of her, this is not one that you feel like, oh, they're kind of like half-assed in there. There's like another one where I feel like they really came in the studio and really trying to make something so strong and so elegant and unforgettable. That's what this song is, along with the movie. But this song is just perfection. And the number 1 spot, the biggest upset, one that I thought would never, ever, ever reach any of my list. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the number 1 single of 2024. When I first heard Symptom of Life, I was a little curious to what was going to happen with this next direction, because everything that was going on with Lula before, especially with that new punk rock act, I was not a fan of it. With the whole like MGK era, kind of Black Bear eras, it just was not, it was not it. But then when hearing that, I wanted to spark some curiosity in there, as I really did enjoy that song. Then this dropped. I couldn't believe how beautifully played and thought out this track was. I really felt like Willow finally broke through her veil and chose to do something that was not only something that probably she wanted to do deep down, but probably, maybe to most, a terrifying step away from what they're already doing that really did work well with audiences. This is something that I feel like works so far off into art pop that could be super niche to the point where like you lose a majority of your audience, like because of how young you are in your career. A lot of people might not want to shift with you in that direction. I'm so glad she did, because the result of this song right here was amazing. Her singing ability has increased tenfold. It's incomparable compared to her past works. And this was the one that I felt like instrumentally really had me the most addictive, the absolute best canvas painting on the wall. And I really just couldn't believe, especially when we're getting towards the end with the big problems. It's just where we're getting crazy with the rhythms at this point. We're getting into these stutters effects. I'm like, this is just so oddball and so, you know, abstract to the point where, like, this is what I want. She's giving me something that I didn't even realize that I wanted before. That, like, this is just, I was just so baffled. And then we get to a beautiful piano climactic outro, and it couldn't have been better. It really could not have been better. Start to finish, this track really had me impressed. And it had me just so excited. It had me so excited to feel like you're wrong. You didn't know this girl yet. She was so early in her career and you misjudged her. And you know what, like, if she wanted to stick in that direction, like, who cares? Like, you know, like, if you make what you want to make. But I was just kind of just certain that I would not find any enjoyment into Willow's music anymore. Ever, really. And yeah, I'm dead wrong, because after the follow-up with the record, you'll hear me talk about that soon. There's really nothing else I can really say about this song. Willow really deserved this #1 spot, as I really felt like she really broke through her shell and did something that was just such a big challenge and also so intimidating, but just also so wonderfully delightful. I have to give this #1 to really show acknowledgement to how much I really appreciated what she wrote, and you know, it was amazing. I cannot wait to see what she does next. It might be something that's up my alley, it might not be. But either way, Ambition, I'm so happy to see it because it's here and it's alive. And I think she really has what it takes to become, and as she already has, an amazing artist, a creative artist, a unique artist. This is amazing. I loved it to death. It deserves to be my #1 track of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my top 50 tracks of 2024. Let me know what was some of your guys' favorites in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Be ready for my top 50 albums that's gonna be coming out next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Deuces.
I have such big feelings.